All right, session recap for Thursday, May 9th. Starting off with NQ here. NQ still trading within that near-term range. We came into the session wanting to see how price was going to respond either versus 18,100 or that prior day high zone. When we had chatted this morning during the pre-market prep live stream, price was just trading within the middle of this range right through here in that 150, 160, 170 area. And so what I had mentioned and what I usually like to see when price is trading within a structure like this, just a near-term range, is some action versus the edge of the range. Now, in this case, that's going to be the 18,100 downside level of interest right through here. So we have that initial test during the pre-market session. Right through there, you get the bounce. Unless you're awake and trading at 5 a.m., not going to nail this trade, right? Low volume as well during that overnight session. But you get the bounce there. It's always good to see that the level is respected during that overnight session. And then we see price retesting that area shortly after the open. So what was interesting about this morning, and shout out to Dom in the Traders Think Tank for noticing this, but what we had right into the open was a 30-minute bearish bar, right ahead of the open. So very tough to be taking any longs within that next half hour until we start to see a bit of buyers stepping in versus that near-term range low. So a nice short presented itself right off of the opening drive trade to the downside on NQ. See how well that played out. And then you get the test down into that 18,100 level of interest. And look how aggressively buyers stepped in. Very, very strong bounce there. You could see how broad these bars are, these buy bars are. You get the pullback into that prior day structure low, significant reference point right through here. Take a look at that. And then from there, just trades up into that prior day high. Now, no break of the prior day high, which is pretty significant because it means that the daily time frame bar is going to be an inside day for today on NQ. So we have an inside day today on NQ. I will be looking to see essentially for tomorrow if this near-term range can actually trigger that breakout. The problem as of right now is that price is bumping into the year-to-date volume point of control here, right here into 18,275. So that'll be a significant level for tomorrow. The main watch for tomorrow's session will be how price trades versus this 18,245 area, which is essentially today's high, right? Now, as always, anytime you have an inside day, you want to go with the direction that the inside day breaks in. So buyers will be looking for that break of today's high tomorrow, and that could trigger that next leg higher. As of right now, near-term range trading continues in NQ. That being said, some pretty good action for today. If you were able to clearly identify this range and grab some longs versus that area of support, that is a phenomenal trade. And I know a number of you guys nailed that in the Traders Think Tank. I had some positioning through here and through here as well. So overall, very good session today as far as NQ action is concerned. Now let's flip over to ES. So on ES, it's a little bit different. We had noted this morning ES was showing signs of relative strength. Take a look at the regular trading hours chart. So ES, you get very slight gap higher, right? But the gap fills. More importantly, price trades down into this prior day structure point right through here, right? Prior day value area low, prior day structure right through there. Some support there on ES from yesterday. Now, contrast that with NQ, and what you'll see is that NQ actually flushed that structural point. Did not hold the prior day value area low, did not hold that structural point. So relative weakness in NQ versus ES. Now ES actually held that structure point. You see buyers step in pretty heavily there versus that 52.10 level of interest. And mind you, this was already after price had tested that near-term range low. We were looking at 5195 by 5225, which was so far this week's high. So you get the bid versus the near-term support zone. Price trades up into that prior day high where a bit of selling steps in, but that just resolves into a higher low, and price triggers the breakout up and through that prior day high and into fresh weekly highs. Now look at this, poised to close on highs here in about 8 minutes. So triggering the near-term breakout today on ES, is this a little bit of an early look at what we'll have on NQ tomorrow? That is kind of the question I'll be looking to answer tomorrow morning with NQ. Now, as far as ES, what I'll be looking for tomorrow is whether or not buyers can continue to show acceptance above this 52.30 upside level of interest. So 52.30 continues to hold. We can expect price to trade 52.50 and potentially 52.70. That's about it for the session recap. Hope everyone had a great day. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to shoot me a DM in the Traders Think Tank. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the prep. Take care.